Yes, sir. We are back. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. It is Saucy and Friends here on the line. And we are sitting down with our good friend Keith Mascoll. Keith, welcome back to Spark FM. How you doing, friend?
Man, I'm doing all right. So happy to be here. Congratulations to y'all. It's my first time coming up. And
Is this your first time?
my first time here in your new spot. You know what I'm saying? So big up. Congratulations to the Johnson girls. Y'all done good.
Thank you. And how was Mrs. Mascoll?
She's in the doghouse right now, but she's doing good.
That's
you know
my
what I'm saying?
homegirl. Let her free my man.
Listen. She's blessed. She's blessed.
That's
She's
good.
blessed.
Good. It's good to see you, Keith, as usual.
Yeah, thank
And
you
I'm
so
glad
much.
that we're circling back to this very important topic and conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So, if for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Keith Mascoll. I'm an actor. I'm Bayesian. Important to say.
I always got to throw that in there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying it. Y'all the most Bayesianist Trinis I've ever met in my life. So,
What kind of beige? That's true.
I love me some good Bayesian.
look, I'm just saying, y'all know where the sweet bread in the Marby is,
Absolutely.
where it's hidden. You know what I mean? But
Cheese on.
bread. You know what I mean? Cheese on bread. You know what I mean? You know, cheese on pizza, as I like to say. You know, extra cheese on pizza.
I had cheese on.
But mental health advocate, founder of the Triggered Project. We've been doing a lot of work in the mental health space, changing how social workers, psychologists, and educators learn about Black boys and trauma using art. You know what I'm saying? Telling my story about my childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? And so doing workshops, bringing awareness. But the next part of talking about my own trauma is about how trauma affects relationships.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why it was important for us to start the podcast, Living a Triggered Life.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And tell us more about the podcast.
yeah, so the podcast is me and my partner, Roxanne Mascoll, which is social worker, psychotherapist. And so we've been talking about our lives, you know, together in this relationship and how the trauma has affected it.
Yeah.
Right? So
Your trauma or both of your trauma?
Both of our traumas.
Yeah.
You know, but
Interesting.
and
yeah.
so we talk about how we deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? Or how we've dealt with it. Right? But there's a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Because it has to be funny.
Yeah.
And there's
You have to.
real
I mean, it's a
conflict.
lot. It's a heavy heavy subject. So
Well-
in order to kind of lighten it up a little bit, just so it's more palatable,
Yeah.
it's palatable.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
good.
yes.
That was good. Yeah, well, I will push back in terms of heavy because we put heavy on it because we don't have the conversation enough. You know what I'm saying? We don't push enough, especially as West Indians. We don't talk enough,
Say the words.
right?
Keith.
And so, like, we want to make these conversations normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to talk about, you know, the things that trigger me and learning what triggers her, and you know what I mean. And then, you know, we're on this healing journey together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's really us owning the fact that we get activated 16, 17 times possibly a day.
Yep.
Right? But we found love through this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we found hope through this. And so that's what the podcast has been.
Yeah.
So we have.
Is that a form not to? Is that almost a form of like trauma bonding?
No, not at all.
No, okay.
No, not at all. Because
It's like trauma healing.
well, no. Well, we talk about it like this, and Roxanne
Yeah.
says this because she's so brilliant. Our trauma kids grew up together.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
we grew up together,
Right.
right? But like our friendship is built on the discussion. It's not built in what happened,
Yeah.
right?
It's built on what we're talking
It's built on what we're talking about. It's
Yeah.
built on what we've built together, and it's built on living our own narratives.
Yeah.
Right? And we've really helped each other live our own narratives and not stay in that point of this is what happened.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
You know what I'm saying? So like 20 episodes in the first season.
Yeah.
I've let that marinate
Yeah.
for a couple of years, to be 100% honest. We are so excited because we're dropping season 2 on Friday, just like dropping it. And then
The full season.
no, not the full. The first episode for
Okay,
season.
okay.
The first episode.
Okay.
But we just dropped this, which y'all will love.
Yeah.
Is we dropped a special trilogy.
Okay.
It's called Living a Triggered Life Podcast at Sea.
Oh.
See.
And we took a cruise from Portugal
Yes.
to Puerto Rico.
Oh,
So transatlantic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But here's the thing. We traced the Middle Passage
Oh,
and acknowledged it.
very nice.
So the ancestors were talking to us,
Yeah.
right? Because our DNA was in the water.
Very nice.
You know what I'm saying? So we've been having these innovative conversations, music of our relationship we've had at the museum, and then this Friday is Love and Kicks, which you will love.
Listen. You know me.
Love and Kicks.
Listen, Love and Kicks.
Love and Kicks.
Love and Kicks.
Yes.
So, we'll be talking
Thank you.
about it started with my sneaker fetish.
Yeah.
Your
Right.
sneaker obsession.
Yes, my sneakerhead. I'm a sneakerhead, sneaker obsession.
Sure.
Right.
That's what we're going to call it.
Yes. My sneaker addiction. But it was connected to my trauma when I was doing all this work.
Right.
But I brought that into the relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And then Roxanne started picking up on it.
Yeah.
Right.
She's a sneakerhead too?
In her own
Just
way.
in her
own way.
Yeah.
But then we started to have these really great conversations about the why behind it.
Yeah.
Right. But then we started to bond about, she's like, how you get these shoes so cheap? Like
Yeah.
everywhere we've gone, whether we're in St. Martin, we're in Barbados, wherever we are, I always find a sneaker store.
Yeah.
And so Roxanne started going around with me to these great sneaker stores from New York. And so she has her own real fire collection.
Yeah.
But there's been certain shoes that we both love and have defined different moments of our relationship.
Oh, so you kind of like theme this shoe out? Okay.
So
I love that.
So we talking about it.
You the last thing that you did, I went to the display that you had what you had at the Gardner Museum.
Yes.
Which was really, really nice.
Yes.
And tell us about that because that was your documentary.
Yes, we took over. It was a blessing. Thank you. It was so great to have
I
you
love
in
how
the
you're
house.
in all of these really cool spaces
Yeah.
to do these things as well.
Blessing,
Yeah.
a blessing. Luminary for the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and we took over upstairs, and I've coined this phrase called sneaker therapy.
Yeah.
Copywritten and protected.
That's
Trademark.
right. We
Let me
talked
make sure
about
I
that
tell y'all
yesterday.
that.
Yeah.
And so it was my first form of therapy because I learned how to stuff my emotions in my shoes.
Right.
And so we wanted to have this conversation about the intersectionality of sneaker culture, healing, mental health, and hope.
Yes.
And so we showed my documentary, which is about 8 minutes, and asking people about the first time they put their foot in the shoe and what that was like.
Yeah.
And then posing the question about, is that healthy or not?
Right.
Because for me, there's all these sneakerheads, it's Fat Joe, but no one's asking the real question.
Right.
Why are you buying all these shoes?
For you.
Like, what's
Right.
really going on?
So what is that answer?
It's different for different people. You know what I'm saying? For me, I didn't want to talk about what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I went to gym one day, and I didn't have my shoes, and my gym teacher gave me a pair of Nikes to put on. And I felt different and empowered, like I was a superhero. And I had one of the best sports day in my life.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was like, yes, it was the shoes,
Yeah.
but
The confidence.
I felt the confidence, but I felt grounded, right? And I couldn't feel any of the pain that I was feeling.
Yeah.
And so I kept seeking that feeling.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But there's so many folks that are filling a hole with all these shoes, but no one's ever talked about it.
Yeah.
No one's ever asked that question. So the documentary poses this question, and then we had a really beautiful discussion. Frank the Butcher was in the house. We had Sean Scales from New Balance was in the house. And then downstairs,
And Travis Brooks was there.
right,
too.
Travis Brooks was there as well. And who's been a long time sneakerhead, even though he hasn't decided whether he's Adidas or he's Nike. Because
That's a conflict being from Boston. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I'll keep it 100. There's so many dudes that were wearing Adidas until they got to the basketball court and they put on a pair of Nikes. But we ain't gonna talk about them. But so we took over downstairs, and I have a program
Yeah.
that I usually use real shoes on. And called Sneaker Therapy. We did a paper version downstairs, but then we had different artifacts from my collection.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was down there.
That was
And,
really nice.
it
Really
was,
nice.
You know,
The amount of Nike things that you have, it's like Nike makes this.
listen, like, you know what I mean? Like, I used to work for City Sports.
Yeah.
I love the art
Yeah.
of all the promotion stuff, and so that's always been part of the collection. So
Yeah.
I was bringing this stuff out, and I don't talk about it as much. You know what I'm saying? Been around concepts, been around all these sneakerheads, and most of them don't know how extensive the collection used to be.
Yeah.
And like I have a sneaker boutique in the crib.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
in the
Like
crib.
I got
awesome.
So
stuff
somebody can come and buy something.
if they wanted to.
Okay.
But they
Me too.
What size is your shoe?
that's a hard question to ask a sneakerhead because that means
Yeah.
you want my shoes.
Yeah.
So I range from a 9.5 to 11.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
This girl.
So it's like I'm pushing this conversation, and what better way to do that, to have a discussion with my partner
Yeah.
about shoes. And there'll be a bar. I got to make sure to say that
Yeah.
because
People
And
need
before we even get into those, one more time, I like to get business is heavy in there.
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
That is the 13th
Yes.
from
Oh, it's Friday. the 13th again.
7:30, probably about 10.
7:30 to
We'll
10.
be raffling off sneakers
Okay.
on the day. I'm making the announcement right now. There will be a special pair
For me.
of.
Okay.
Well, hold on. There's going to be a special pair of Mike D's Adidas that will be raffled off.
Mike D's Adidas that'll be
Mike D's
raffled
Adidas.
off.
And here's why.
Tell me why.
Here's why. During for Halloween, I was Mike D's number 3.
Were you? You're not
Y'all
Mike
didn't know.
D's.
No, but I was Mike D's number 3. And so like I didn't win. And they gave it to like Thick
Mike
D's.
D's number
Thick
They
Thick
did give
D's.
it to Thick D's.
They gave it to Thick D's.
They did.
Right? And I was really salty about it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to flip this.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip the fact that I lost by a technicality. And I'm going to create a pair of Mike D shoes just to show love to him. You know what I'm
good.
saying? To show love to Mike D's and what he's doing. And so I said, look, I'm going to raffle off a pair of Mike D Adidas joints. And probably a size 6.5 so people can wear around their neck. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a
They can
minute.
wear.
First of all, 6.5 sneakers is not wear neck.
That is a good size.
Listen,
Adult size.
you can put them on your mantle. You know what I'm saying? But no one else is gonna have them. I'm
That
also
is
gonna
awesome.
raffle off. Everybody Gotta Eat special Boston fitted
Dinner.
as well.
Very nice.
You know what I'm saying? And then
You
some
need
other
to
shoes.
raffle off one of their dinners.
You know what? I tried. You know what I'm saying? I said, Manny, look, can we raffle off? He was like, not yet.
I feel like
You know what I'm saying? I just opened 2 spots.
Yeah.
Give me another year.
For real, right?
You know what I'm saying? But I got socks.
I'm so
I
excited.
always
I'm
come
just
with
sitting here
socks.
trying to wait when we gonna get a hat or a fitted or
I'm
something
Yeah,
like
look,
that.
listen, but
You
you
know?
all love the socks,
We'll
and I made
take
sure
your socks.
I made sure to bring, and I didn't know y'all had 4 people in. I would have brought 4.
I-
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
Isis, our new intern Isis here.
Isis, I would have had a pair. I would have had a
Right
pair
now.
for you. You know what I'm
Keith
saying?
Mascoll socks.
You know what I
My-
mean? Trigger Project with the logo on there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But these are, of course, they're the right colors for the
Yeah.
right island.
Absolutely.
So I made sure.
Better have.
Yeah.
I made sure.
that.
I made sure to, you know what I'm saying, to bring these on. So there'll be some other surprises as well.
Yeah. Very nice.
Really happy about this podcast. We haven't dropped it in a linear way. Because there's just so much stuff that's out here.
Yeah.
And I've let it marinate. I've let it marinate for a couple of years. Well, so I went back to school, but we've been recording the whole time.
Very good. Good
The
for y'all.
whole time, and we're about
How many
No.
episodes in are you guys now?
we are 23. We're in. But I feel like I'm the prince of podcasting because I got like 20 to 30 episodes in the can. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting. You know what I mean?
Make sure you guys go on YouTube and you guys subscribe to their page, the
Yeah.
Triggered Project 9937.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
It's,
No doubt.
And it's very nice. And it's experience. If you can catch any of these the Triggered Project events or listen to the
Go.
podcast as Triz just suggested, go out there. It is an experience.
Thank
and you and your wife are such a really, really nice couple.
Thank you.
And
Can we
it's
have
really,
this
really
t-shirt
good to
too?
it's really good
Thank
to
you.
see you
Huh?
all together.
This
all the
T-shirt
time.
of you and your wife, it's really nice.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
thank.
cute.
Well, I got to represent. I'm wearing right now. If you look, I'm wearing.
That's
this is
really
This
cute.
is the art
I love that.
Yeah.
But this is the picture. My dad used to always take pictures of us
Yeah.
early on in our relationship or just in general.
Yeah.
And so that's what I made for the logo for the podcast.
That's really
Beautiful.
dope. That's
you know what I'm
dope.
saying? So
Yeah.
I'm always wearing her face somewhere.
So how
love
far
that.
are you away from hoarding?
Sneakers.
You know what? I really love that question.
Yes.
Well, I'll put it like this. In my heyday, I had 100 by my bed in rotation.
Wow.
By your bed.
By your
By my
bed.
bed. That wasn't that was not what was in the vault.
Right.
Oh, that was just by the
Right.
bed.
That
By
was
the bed.
100 by my bed. You know what I'm saying? And like, but also that was the height of me not being healthy as well too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
as I've, gotten therapy, as I've talked about things more, like I still love the culture, I still love everything, but I don't need to fill the hole with the shoes anymore. So so it's not like now if I brought all the shoes to the crib, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in the vault.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no,
So
that's
you
a
have like a
great question.
storage unit where you have all of them, something like that.
I actually just call it a vault.
A vault.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't give in the
just-
undisclosed location.
Tell us where that vault is.
You
just
know what
so
I
we
mean?
know.
But no, if I brought everything home, we'd have a problem, for sure. But I appreciate the fact that I've had access.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which we're using to work for City Sports, being West Indian and knowing how to shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How to bargain and negotiate.
Right, exactly.
I know how to shop. I just go to China and just give me.
Just go to China.
I understand. Like, look, I understand.
I got some
Don't
Nikes
listen.
you ain't never seen.
Listen, and I know, and you know what? And you can only wear those like 4 times.
He
You know
got
what I'm
some
saying?
Jesus ones.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no question. Your toe is busting through the front. Like,
Man, I got some right now. Everybody always asks me, where you get those from? where I get these from?
Where you get this?
Where I get these from?
That was nice. You get people
Listen.
ask you about them all the time.
listen, when I looked down, I knew.
If you
You know
know,
what
you
I'm
know.
saying? I was like, those look like some SpongeBob joints. You know what I'm saying? That he was wearing underwater.
If you know, you know. I would like to get rid of my collection. Who should I turn? Who should I turn to? Oh, Fresh Jam looking to rid of stuff in his collection. Listen, sneaker buying is. I'm glad that I stopped because it was really starting to take over my life.
Right.
But I mean, I still it didn't. I just stopped buying sneakers, but I still have a very very bad shopping addiction
Yeah.
that I'm working through in therapy.
She's working through. She's working through them.
I'm working
Anyways, people, we got to pay some bills here.
She just don't get the stuff mailed to her house.
Tell them, Tristan.
That's right.
We do got to pay some bills, people. Keith, thank you so much for passing
Hey,
by and hanging out with us again. See you on Friday.
Yes.
Again, 7:30 to
Yes.
about 10 o'clock at
Yep.
the Museum of Science.
Yeah.
Where can we buy tickets?
Online, you can go right to. Actually, what you do is go to our website.
Yep.
www.triggered1.com. And
Triggered One.
You can get tickets there, and then you can see all the other work. You know what I'm saying?
just
And
got my
Tristan
ticket.
put it in the comment section so that
Yes.
you could that you guys could go register too. But
Yes.
Keith, we wish you all the best of
Thank
luck in
you.
this. We hope you have an amazing turnout and that
Thank
you
you.
do impact a lot of lives. And thank you for always for stopping by here and making sure our community knows about it.
Absolutely.
You the man.
No, thank you all for having me. You know I love me some Johnson girls. You know that.
Hey.
I'm going to this.
All right, people, you guys be blessed. Have a great day, and we'll be right. Don't leave nobody. We still got to do our national and entertainment news. Keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music.
Hey.